what's up you guys? It's Simon. Welcome back to my channel, and today's video is something that I am super excited to show you guys, and it is also something that a lot of you have been waiting for, and that is I'm redrawing your guys' art. So I've been saying for a while now that I was going to do a draw this in your style when I got to 5K on Instagram, but since I did a draw this in your style not that long ago, like I'm talking like February long ago, I thought it would be fun to kind of turn the tables, so to speak. So instead, I thought I would try to draw your art in my style. Of course, I'll be linking all of these awesome artists both on screen as well as in the description. I also want to say a huge thank you to anybody that submitted an illustration for me to redraw. I wish I had the time to sit down and do all of them because I honestly do love and appreciate all of you guys so much, and you all have such incredible art. So again, thank you so much, and please feel free to go and check out the artists that will be linked, like I said, down below in the description. So first up we have Peach Cream Cafe. So Peach makes some really sick artwork, I have to say. I am so incredibly impressed with their anatomy, like it is huge goals for me. They're also really good at drawing muscular characters, which is something I totally need to work on, so I'll definitely be looking to them for some inspiration, and y'all definitely should too. They also have a lot of cool content on their TikTok that I'll be sure to link with their other social media because that is where I originally found them. So I believe Peach's illustration is meant to be a self-portrait, so I did my best to make sure that the colors I chose were very similar to the ones from their illustration, but I didn't want to color pick exactly from their illustration or any of the following ones because I wanted this to be purely like me selecting colors that I would choose for my own illustrations if I didn't have like a reference photo that I was working up. Well, it's kind of like I had a reference photo, but not quite. But anyway, I did try to select those colors based off of what were in the originals, just again, like colors that I normally tend to go for. Speaking of colors in the originals, I really loved the color that Peach chose for their sweater that they're wearing. It was like a super nice, like sort of desaturated grayish purple color, and I wish I had a sweater like that. Like it is such a nice color. I love it a lot. I also really liked the expression that they had in this illustration. It was really unique, and I don't think I quite captured it. Something about their illustration and mine when looking at them side by side to me seemed to convey sort of like a different emotion, in my opinion, kind of a different mood, but I still like how the final turned out. Also, fun fact, at some point while working on Peach's illustration, Procreate like totally glitched itself out. You might have noticed that clip where I was turning like the layer with the nose highlight on and off, and that's because somehow, the layer had completely filled with one of the colors that I was using, but in the layer preview, nothing was filled. I couldn't write or draw on other layers either. Like I tried to create a new one and nothing worked, but once I deleted the nose highlight layer, everything was fine. It was a weird little occurrence. I have no idea what happened or what I pushed, but I managed to get everything figured out. So here is Peach's original illustration, and here is my recreation. So next up we have Official Plaque, and Mick is someone who I started following very recently, specifically as soon as I had seen her enter this challenge. Something about the illustration that she sent me made me like super excited because something about the colors and the expression were just so iconic. I also really liked how she rendered the hair. It has a lot of individual strands, which is something that's really hard to make look good, in my opinion. Like a lot of things that you hear when you're first getting into digital art and doing hair is people telling you not to render individual strands, but something about the way that she did it, how it was like a lot of individual strands, but at the same time it's mixed in with these solid chunks of color, just made it look so nice and very readable and just like absolutely gorgeous. I really loved her illustration style, and I just had to follow her straight away. She has some awesome original characters, but she also has some pretty cool fan art to check out as well. She also Like a lot of the people in this video has some amazing anatomy and like full bodies, and oh my god, do I need to do more because seeing y'all are so talented. Oh my god. Anyways, so as I was recreating this one, I struggled quite a bit because similarly to Peaches, I was doing my best to capture the original expression that she had in her illustration. Um, the expression, in my opinion, is really what ties in this whole piece, so making sure that I got it right, particularly in the eyes and in the mouth, was a bit of a struggle for me, but I think it turned out okay. One thing that really did help me was flipping the canvas, because I really only know how to draw a 3/4 view from one direction, and that is the magic of digital art. You can just flip it right over. So I did flip mine so that I could work a little bit easier. I also really loved this technique of using purple for the shading. It's not something that I get to do very often, but I thought that the purple that she chose really helped tie in the rainbow, so I made sure to incorporate that into mine as well. I did notice as I was finishing up this video that I forgot to add the braces from the original, but I was running a bit behind schedule, so it was too late for me to go back and add them. I hope you don't mind. So here is Mix Original, and here is how mine turned out. Next up to bat is DGV Illustrations, and Diana has some really awesome content on her feed. She has really diverse posts, from character illustrations to animals to creatures and even environment type illustrations. I think she has a really tight handle on her style, and it's super cool to see someone with such a diverse portfolio, and it is huge goals for me as far as I'm concerned. Y'all know I always say I am so bad at drawing animals, and one day I will get better, and now my goal, I think, is to end up with artwork that ties in like Diana's does. So I really loved the character that she created for this what the heck illustration, especially the colors and how she incorporated the hair into the actual plant. I think this character is based off of a Venus flytrap, and I think she did a really good job getting that to come across. I also really love her sassy expression. I say all of the time that a really good way to get an emotion to come across is by shifting the eyebrows, and I think that this is a great example of that. When it came to recreating this illustration, I definitely had a ton of fun with the face because it wasn't normally a face shape that I use in my illustrations. It came out a lot more geometric than I had initially intended, especially because the shape of the face really came out more so when I was doing that like tight sketch that I do. So you guys see off in the corner I had like the rough sketch, and then I came back to a tighter version, which is technically line art, but also not, because I use my sketch pencil and not a line art pencil, so I just call it a second sketch. Anyways, when I was doing that, the lines came out like just a lot more sharper than I usually tend to do, because wasn't what the heck am I trying to say? It's very early in the morning, please forgive me. But I was trying to follow the lines, and I didn't quite follow the ones that I had made, but I really liked the line that I had ended up with, which again ended up being very sharp, and I thought it looked really, really nice. I also had a lot of fun doing the expression because the eyes turned out really sharp and captured the expression, I feel, pretty well, which was nice considering it was something I struggled with when working on the other two. Something I did struggle a bit with, though, was the hair and getting it to follow the same sort of shapes that it followed in the original, particularly in the ponytail leaf area. I also struggled a little bit with the sort of vein-like designs on her arms and chest, but I feel like that was a matter of choosing to do them in the line art stage rather than in the coloring stage. But again, like I said, I do really like how the end result turned out. So here is Diana's, and here is mine. Next we have Dramatiku. I am so sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but she was actually an entry here on YouTube. She has her own YouTube channel, which I would definitely recommend checking out. She does sweet paints? speed paints. And her sweet painterly style is super satisfying to watch. It makes me really inspired to go back to doing like full hand, super blended paintings that I used to do when I first started my Instagram in 2017. So, working on Diana's illustration was a bit of a false alarm when it comes to nailing the expression, because when working on this one, I struggled hard. As you can clearly tell by the previous illustrations, I decided to do the refined sketches off camera and show you guys the rough sketch. One, because I have a lot of trouble sketching on camera. It's something about like just the anxiety of like, what if I mess up? I'm gonna mess up. It's art. Everybody messes up, but I still get anxious about it. And two, because doing the refined sketch takes a lot of time, which was certainly true for this illustration because I had to do the expression like minimum 6 times. The original has like a soft, such a soft and like elegant sort of feeling to it, and I was really struggling with having her look either too stern or too bubbly, and it took quite a bit to finally settle on the expression that you're seeing here, but I am definitely pleased with it now. I don't know if y'all know this, but purple is one of my least favorite colors. That being said, I think the purples that she used in this illustration are beautiful, especially when paired with the warm colors in the, I don't remember what those things are called. I think that, like, bokeh lights? I'm sure I said that wrong. I really could not think of the word. My brain kept trying to say like Gaussian blur, and that is not correct. But yeah, it's bokeh, like the brain. It's like it's lights. It's pretty. It's like sparkles, you know, the lighting effect. Paired with the purple, I think really helps give off that elegant sort of serene effect. I also had a ton of fun rendering the hair, especially because there was so much of it. Wow. But yeah, I think it made everything look super fluffy and soft and nice, and I genuinely enjoyed how this illustration turned out. My one thing that I have to say is I totally wanted to try out some new lighting effects on this illustration and I completely forgot to, but because I'm doing like 6 fully rendered illustrations similarly to how I forgot the braces, I did not get a chance to get to it, but I still really like how the end result was. So here is Dramaticu's original piece, and here is mine. So moving right along, we have Tardis Grump art, and I love Anna's illustration style. She has such bright colors in her work, and seeing her illustrations really cheer me up. I think she also does a really good job of working on full bodies. Like I said before, I'm very much guilty of doing portrait after portrait after portrait, and as many times as I say I want to branch out and do full bodies, I almost never end up doing it. So seeing her work definitely inspires me to do so. I was also definitely excited to work on this illustration because, as you can see, it's the strawberry dress. I know that the hype of the strawberry dress is kind of dying down, but I'm obsessed with it. I literally told my husband that I want to get married in that dress. Why spend thousands of dollars on a white dress when I can spend $400 on the most adorable strawberry covered dress I've ever seen that I can also wear again and again and again. Anyways, getting super sidetracked. It had my beloved strawberry dress, so I of course really wanted to draw it. I also thought it would be a perfect way to force myself to draw a full body while not stressing myself out too much with an overly dynamic pose. It's really simple and nice and open, and good practice for somebody like me who doesn't do full bodies very often. That being said, I definitely did struggle with it, particularly in the legs and feet, because that's usually where I tend to cap off my illustrations if I'm feeling like branching out beyond a portrait, right at the waist. So trying to illustrate beyond that point definitely led to a bit of a struggle. I also kind of struggled in the face a bit because I think I made her eyes way too big, and I didn't notice until it was too late. Like I did the rough sketch, I came in and did the refine, and then as soon as I started putting the base colors down, particularly in the hair, I realized like, uh-oh, these eyes are huge, so they're definitely a little bit unproportional and kind of make her look a little cross-eyed in my illustration. But that being said, I really do like how it turned out. I think the strawberries on the dress are super cute. I tried to make, like, I know that the original strawberry, just the strawberries have like kind of like a tinsel on them, so I tried to make that come across as well as I could, and yeah, I just think they look really fuzzy and cute. So here is Anna's original illustration, and here is mine.
Alrighty, so last but most certainly not least, we have Mahio Kanda. So Maho's art is stunning, I swear. Like, when I saw their entry, I could not believe that someone as talented as them was following me, much less wanted me to redraw their art. They have such like a distinctive style, like, in my opinion. Their work is phenomenal. If you're into character design and especially fan art, I would highly recommend checking out their art. So I believe Maho's piece is actually fan art specifically of Luz from Owl House, which I have not seen yet, but I've had it recommended to me quite a few times, so I might have to actually start it, especially because of how awesome this fan art is. That being said, I literally love this piece. I was a little terrified to work on it at first because this was another one that I chose to kind of force myself to draw a full body, especially a pose I had quite literally never drawn before. Like, I'm 22 years old, I have never drawn something like this to my knowledge, so it was very hard. I think I probably tried to draw the body like 5 or 6 times before I finally decided to try and break it down into literally the simplest geometric shapes. Like, I'm talking rectangles, triangles, trapezoids, anything that I could do to make my brain figure out how this body works, and I'm glad that I finally did because it helped so much. I might do a bonus video this week or next week here soon about how you can break down complicated shapes and stuff using this technique, because I've done it with like hands and poses and even like little bits and pieces of the body, just breaking it down into really simple shapes. So I may or may not do a video about that. Let me know if you guys want to see that. But yeah, I am genuinely surprised by how pleased I am with the end result, considering how much I struggled with it. I also really enjoyed the coloring process because the colors were so bright and saturated, and I love using colors like that around this time of year, like spring, summer type stuff. I also really loved using the noise effect. I've been adding that to my illustrations every once in a while. If I feel like, you know, things aren't quite coming together, or like it just looks like it would suit kind of like a vintagey vibe, I slap that noise filter on, and don't go crazy with it because it will, you won't be able to see your illustration anymore. Essentially, if you turn that filter up too much, just kind of like slide it around until it gets kind of the atmosphere that you're looking for. And I think it looks really good. I really like it. So here is Maho's original, and here is mine. Okay, so here is all the finished artwork. On the top you can find the original pieces, and below are of course my redraws. I had a ton of fun recreating all of your incredible illustrations. I'd highly recommend checking out everyone whose art was featured in this video. Of course, I again want to say thank you to everybody who submitted something for me to redraw. I really wish I had the time to get to all of yours. What did you guys think about this video? Did you enjoy seeing videos that are like this? Should I do it again? Let me know down below. Of course, as always, I want to give a huge shout out to my patrons: Elise Thompson, Duran, Mandy, Sleeps, Puppy Paws, Created by Twins, and Kruhi. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for continuing to support me every single month. I also wanted to mention that February's Patreon rewards are now up on my Etsy shop, so if you enjoyed anything from the strawberry theme, like the chocolate covered strawberry sticker or the strawberry boy sticker, my mic's just the cord. Anyways, if you liked anything from the strawberry theme, whether that was the print, the digital download, anything like that, you can purchase it all now as a bundle or each thing individually if that's something that you'd be into. So yeah, that's it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.